Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Welcome in, everybody. Griswold in Houston. Dylan the Villain and the Rockets in town tomorrow. Ja, by the way, will speak to the media. That will take place tomorrow afternoon. We're going to talk a lot about that with Pete Pranica. He comes your way in less than 8 minutes. So we look forward to talking to the TV voice of the Grizzlies. Penny wants $18,000 on hand at FedEx Forum for Saturday's showdown with undefeated top 25 ranked Clemson. They have done well with the ticket sales, by the way. I'm told the lower level, the club seats, I guess that's called the plaza and the club seats, they are all sold out. The only thing available, I shouldn't say only, there's more of them, which is why they're trying to redo FedEx Forum. There's more terrace seats, the upper level, than there are lower level. There are terrace level seats, I think some pretty good terrace level seats, still available, and Penny would like to see that thing get sold out. Tigers' schedule is out for football. We'll go over that whole thing. Jarvis Greer is going to join us last segment of the program. I'll go over it in between Pete and Jarvo and take a look at that. Of course, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, you just heard Harold Grader talking about it. They have seats available, too. That'll be the Tigers 9-3, Iowa State 7-5. Tigers did lose, and I forgot to mention this yesterday, Cameron Smith, the defensive back, out in the portal. So now that's 5 guys, right? 3 offensive linemen. Cam Smith is 4. And 1 defensive lineman, Zy Brockington. All 5 have entered the portal. That means they will not be playing against Iowa State.
And that's including Tevin Carter as well.
Oh, I forgot. That's 6 guys. Tevin Carter, yeah, you don't have your backup. Yeah, quarterback. You have any idea where Tevin Carter's going?
No, not that I think of.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you I'm puzzled by that because Seth's coming back. He's already burned a redshirt year and a 1 year, so he's got 3 years of eligibility. He should go where he can play those 3 years. I can't say that I blame him for that. And, you know, the next time we have Ryan Silverfield on, I'm going to have to ask him this because I'm really not sure. I am so disoriented because of COVID that I'm not sure. Like, you know, you get 5 years, basically, right? If you played in that COVID year, you've got 5 years. I'm not sure, but I think he can. I believe that starting as a true freshman, he's got 3 years in the books. I believe Seth Hennigan could come back and play a 5th year. He could become the number 1 all-time, as Greg Gaston just pointed out a bit ago. He was pointing about because we're a passing game now, the top quarterbacks on the historical list of 100 years of football. The top 6 have all come from the year 2006 until 23. And that Hennigan is at 290 yards shy, somewhere in that ballpark, of Brady White. Well, he could break it in the game against Iowa State, right? I mean, he could become number 1 then, and certainly he's going to break it next year, and he's already made it very clear he's coming back next year. He could come back a 5th year. If he did that, he might establish passing records because he got that extra year that no other player, theoretically, God forbid we have another pandemic, he could have the kinds of numbers that will last literally forever, no matter what the game does. That's crazy, but I believe he could get that extra year. But we'll go over the football schedule midway through the program. And then the news yesterday that a high school great, literally legend, is stepping down. He's retiring. We wish our best to Bobby Alston in retirement. He's literally been at the school, and I wonder if at the back of his head he was thinking about trying to make 50. 47 years at Park and Ridgeway at MUS. He began his tenure in 1977. He became the coach when his mentor, Jake Rudolph, stepped down to retire in 1998. All that Bobby Alston was able to do, filling in the footsteps of Mr. Rudolph, won 4 state titles. They have 5, so he's won 4 of the 5. 4 runner-up, 213 victories. In the years 2008 and 9, the Owls won 28 games in a row under his leadership. That's amazing. Here's what's even more amazing. If you take a look at Jake Rudolph, who, again, was the head coach when Bobby Alston was an assistant and learned from Jake. You take the 2 tenures of Jake Rudolph and of Bobby Alston, there have been 2 coaches at MUS, head football coaches, for the last 65 years. You want to talk about continuity? 65 years, 2 guys, football coaches at MUS. Anytime I ever had any dealing with Bobby Alston, it was always honest, pretty concise, first class. I mean, he's a guy who always spoke the truth, did it in a classy way, truly the kind of guy that you would want to teach your child, I believe. I always thought and felt that way about him, and I hope he has many years to enjoy retirement. Jake Rudolph, who would smoke like a chimney, unfortunately, I can't remember when he passed, but I don't think he had as many years in retirement as I hope I would have. And I hope that for Bobby Alston, but you can't beat those 2 acts. 65 years at MUS, the folks at Park and Ridgeway certainly have done it right when they've chosen their leaders in the athletic departments. Don't forget, they had Coach Peters, who coached basketball. He was in the 40-year range, too. When they go with a guy, they stick with a guy. That guy is usually a first-class guy. And now, here, I say this, and he's going to be on with us tomorrow, but I want to say it now. I hope Glenn Rogers Jr. gets that job. He's been an assistant coach, much like Bobby Alston was to Jake Rudolph. He's been an assistant coach there for 23 years. There have been multiple schools in these years that have gone after Glenn Rogers Jr. to become their head coach. He has turned them down. There have been members of the board at MUS that have said, please, Glenn, don't go. When you say that, that means that when it's your turn, you're going to get the gig. I hope, for Glenn Rogers Jr.'s sake, that he gets that job. He is deserving of that job. We'll talk with him tomorrow about all of that. Man, there was some crazy stuff in the NBA last night as we get set to talk with our friend Pete Pranica. Bucks beat Indy 140-126. Giannis scored 64 points. He didn't even shoot a 3 in the game. 64, all within the paint. Bunch of dunks, fast breaks. Giannis becomes the first big man, in other words, a player other than a guard, to score 64 since 71 points scored by the Admiral, David Robinson. So that's a long time ago. It's the most points ever scored by a Buck player. That's impressive. Franchise history. And the Pacers then stole the ball to give to Oscar Schwebe, the former Kentucky player, because he had scored his first point. Come on, Rick Carlisle. That's cheap. The guy scores the most points in the history of a franchise, and you're going to steal the ball from him because the guy scored a point? Come on. Crazy stuff. We're going to talk to Pete about that and a whole bunch of stuff, including Dylan Brooks. Dylan the Villain coming to Memphis Friday. Rockets have won 2 games. Rockets were winners last night, 117-104. You know, I looked at that. I watched that game last night, listened to Pete and Brevin, and I kept thinking, man, this is like the Tigers against A&M to a certain respect, because the difference in that game is points on second chance. I mean, they out-rebounded them offensive boards by a whole bunch. That, to me, was the difference in the game. We'll see what Pete has to say. As we sit in the Family Leisure Studios, a reminder to you, the Christmas sale is still on. There's great deals on pool tables, shuffleboards, saunas. The folks say if you're tired, if you're sore, don't think too much about it. Come in and check out either a hot tub, a spa. That'll warm you up. Get those bones moving again with those massage chairs, which are so good, and have a special price for Christmas, all at Witten Road and I-240. Go see the folks. The Christmas sale is on at Family Leisure. So we head cross town. We talked to our friend Pete Pranica after a busy night of working and then flying home late. Good morning to you, Pete. Thank you much. I'll get to the Rockets game first, but in a minute. Let me ask you, what do you think about the deal with the Bucks and the Pacers and that game ball getting ripped away from Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I guess I could understand it a little bit more if the game were in Indiana. But, Rick Carlisle certainly should be better understanding of the history of what Giannis did last night. I guess in the moment they're not thinking because it's a Milwaukee record, but it's also Milwaukee's home floor. And to just grab the ball in a visiting arena, it's a bit much. And unfortunately, I think it's an unfortunate sidebar to what was just an amazing night for Giannis.
Yeah, like we didn't take a three. Did it that way. First big man, in other words, somebody other than a guard to score in the 60s since David Robinson. Pretty amazing stuff. He's so special. There's so many special players in the league, but he's clearly one of them.
Absolutely. A joy to watch. You love to watch him 80 times out of the year. You just hate to watch the 2 times against the Grizzlies because I remember back in the old Bradley Center days, one fourth quarter, he just absolutely obliterated Zach Randolph. And we said, okay, this kid's going to be really, really special. And he's been even beyond special. He's been amazing. Yeah,
he truly has. All right, now you've seen the Rockets twice this year, both in Houston. Of course, you'll see them again tomorrow night. But that's the 11th straight win for a Rockets team that is much better than it was a year ago. And Dylan Brooks is a part of it, not last night. Terry Eason was outstanding. Career highs. 25 points, tied a career high with 14. Jabari Smith had a double-double too. And Dylan Brooks, what did he end up with? 11 points. It wasn't overwhelming, but he got the win, and I think that is all he cares about. Triple J, back-to-back 40s, career high 44 last night. Bane didn't play, so somebody had to score. And can Triple J keep up this intensity? That's the first time, I think, in history of the Grizzlies that a guy had back-to-back 40s. Is that right?
No, John Morant also had a back-to-back 40 point night from Ross Wooden in the PR department. He handed me that note late in the game last night. I mean, he can, but once you get Ja and Bane back, now you've got a couple of other options, so he doesn't have to be. But I'm very proud of Jaren the way he shouldered the load last night, knowing that he was going to be the guy, knowing that Houston does not have a lot of shot blocking, so he could go to the rim with impunity. Drew fouls, got to the free throw line. I think last night was the 5th or 6th time he got double-digit free throw attempts, equaling the number of games he did last year. So he's been super aggressive. The points in the paint, I think he's double digits in now 4 of the last 5 games. Unfortunately, hasn't always translated to wins, but you're seeing him just be a total, complete basketball player.
So was I correct in my analysis? Difference in that game, offensive rebounding for the Bucks. I think they were out-rebounded totally 58-39, but 15-5 on the offensive glass. 19-3 the difference, second chance points.
It was absolutely huge. And usually second chance scoring, because the Grizzlies shoot so poorly, that's something that they typically excel in. But last night, the athleticism, the want to, the scrappiness. I mean, Houston now 11 straight wins on their home floor. And the flip side of that, they're only 1-8 on the road. They lost their first 8 road games, and they won their last one. They won at Denver of all places. So, I mean, Houston's playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. They've retooled their roster. They've gone away from total youth to mixing in some some veterans like Fred Van Vliet and our old friend Jeff Green, and I think that's made a huge difference. And also, Ime Udoka has just brought a defensive intensity mindset to that Houston team, and it really translated last night, particularly on the offensive glass.
How old is Jeff Green now? He's got that little gray patch in his hair. I mean, he's been around a long time. 15,
16 years in the league,
it?
and when you think about a guy, here's a guy who had heart surgery and came back from it.
Wow, I forgot that.
And, yeah, one of my all-time favorite notes. There are only 2 Seattle Supersonics, okay, that were drafted by Seattle that are in the league. It's Jeff Green and Kevin Durant. They're the only 2 Sonics left.
Wow, that is impressive. All right, so Brooks is going to come back tomorrow. You know, the guys on the team really liked him. You can tell just their playfulness during the game. Vince Williams hit a 3, and I think Dylan tapped him on the shoulder to say good shot. But I don't know where the fans are with this. So what's going to happen tomorrow night when he comes out to shoot pregame? Cheers, boos. What happens for Brooks?
I think it might be a little mixed. But I think Memphis basketball fans, and you know this is the voice of the Tigers. You know Memphis basketball fans, regardless of what level, are appreciative of quality play. And they're also appreciative of the history of basketball here in Memphis. And I think fans, there's probably going to be maybe a few boos, but I think people by and large will respect what Dylan did here in Memphis. And so I'd like to think that there would be more cheers than boos. But, there are going to be some people that are probably a little put off. But I tend to think it's going to be 70. I'll peg it at 70-30 cheers to boos. How's that?
I think that's spot on, honestly. And you talk about the appreciation and the knowledge and history that Memphis has of this game. Just look at Game 1 this year when Derrick Rose came into the game and that ovation that he got. That was all stemming from his years as a Tiger. There's no doubt about that. And I think fans will realize a lot of wins with Brooks, and he was involved in a lot of those on both sides of the floor. And last year, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was second team all defense, and that was helping the Grizz get to the regular season record they had. Now, did he open his mouth a little bit too much in the Lakers series? Maybe. I don't know if that's what sealed his fate. The fact is he wanted some money, and he got it at Houston. I'm happy for him. But he made so many great contributions to this team the last few years, and all you got to do is look at the way the players talk about him and how he was a good teammate to understand that.
Yeah, he was a really good teammate. I think Dylan created a persona that at the end outstripped his on-court production. I mean, let's be honest, he shot career lows last year. Was great defensively, offensively, really, really struggled. And, he had his moments. And even this year, he's had like 4 games of 20 or more and 5 games of single digits. So he's kind of up and down. I think what's also going to have a bearing on how the crowd responds is how Dylan responds to the crowd. Does he try to egg him on? Does he play, the wrestling heel, or does he play the, hey, I'm happy to be back in Memphis? And if he kind of plays it that way, I think that'll obviously help the cheers rather than the boos. And I think Dylan, by and large, given everything, I think is going to be appreciative of the fans who supported him through the years here in Memphis.
Tomorrow, for the first time, other than seeing him on stand in this crazy trial, Ja will speak to the media. What do you hope, Pete Pranica, you will hear from Ja in that press conference?
I would hope that he can talk a little bit about the process of the 25-game suspension, and because we've heard that Joe Dumars is going to talk to him, Adam Silver is going to talk to him, and that there have been certain benchmarks through this process that the league has wanted him to work through. And while we're probably not going to get specifics about it, I think if Ja expresses, hey, during this period of time, I've learned this, I've grown, I've matured, I feel I'm a better person, things like that. I think that's the message, obviously, that you'd want to hear, that he understands that there are consequences to actions, and he's ready to move on and start writing a new chapter.
I hope so too. I want to hear from him about, if he's changed values, if I think he appreciates the game more, missing it, and what he's learned from it. That I guess those are the things that I would like to hear. Final thing. Draymond Green got suspended indefinitely, the third time he's been ejected from a game this particular year. He says he was trying to sell a foul when he struck Yusuf Nurkic. Yeah. In the game the other night, and that he's a pretty honest guy, and that he did not intend to really hit him, did not object when he was ejected. I guess he felt it was going to come. I've watched it, man. It does seem high, right? So you're going, really? But he's smart, and he knows he doesn't have any leeway anymore. It almost seems like he was trying to sell it and did not mean to hit him in the face, maybe the shoulder. I don't know. He was trying to absolutely make contact so that he could sell a foul. What do you think is fair punishment? I've heard some people say, and I don't buy this, that he should be suspended for the whole year because he's had so many incidents. What do you think is the right suspension, Pete, for Draymond Green?
I would just throw out 10 games. But again, the league is talking to him and to his representatives that, this is a pattern of behavior, and it's becoming increasingly violent. When you start with a chokehold, all right, let's be honest. This is a chokehold. This is a means to knock a person out, and wouldn't let it go. Selling a foul, I kind of look. I talked to Brevin about it last night, and he says that's not how you sell a foul. Where you wildly flail your arms around somebody's head, and when he's hand checking you on the hip, and your arms come up that high, come on. I think that the league needs to talk to him, and I don't know, are there anger management issues? Is there something going on here? But the problem is that Draymond Green has gotten away with so much in terms of yelling and screaming at officials and being demonstrative and not being held to account, that this has gotten to a point now. And frankly, I'm not going to be popular with Golden State Warriors fans, but I think, frankly, the enabling of Draymond Green, certainly you defend your teammate, but I think it's gotten to the point now where, but it's Draymond. He's a great guy off the court. Like, he punched Jordan Poole, for crying out loud. Right. He punched his teammate. There's just a track record there that needs to be addressed.
You go back to that Jordan Poole, that was a vicious blow. And then you're talking about the Rudy Gobert chokehold. Let's go back to the playoffs with Cleveland and LeBron. And wasn't that a strike below the Mendoza line? That was in the family jewels, wasn't it?
Yeah. One of many from Draymond Green. So clearly there's something going on there that you need to look, because this is borderline violent behavior, which has no place in our game. And so I applaud the league for saying it's indefinite. We need to deal with Draymond Green, and is there something going on with him that this keeps happening? It doesn't keep happening with other players.
You're right. And I'll tell you, I think he's blowing his future too, because I envision him as the next sort of Charles Barkley. Charles is pretty unique, but this guy is smart. He's very analytical. He's clever, entertaining. That's all there for him, or it was. I don't know if that will still be there by the way he has acted here the last year and a half or two. Pete, go back to sleep. Enjoy it. Looking forward to seeing Dylan Brooks in the house. Looking forward to hearing Ja tomorrow at 11:30.
Exactly. Thanks for having me.
You know it. Thank you. Our pleasure. That is Pete Pranica, brought to you in part by the good folks at the Eflin Insurance Team. That's Matt and his crew, and they are so good at what they do, because when they protect you, they get to know you. That's the whole thing about the Eflin Insurance Team. They're going to sit down. They get to know your family. They get to know what's important to you. They truly do. And then they collaborate with you. They find out what your budget is, and they protect you, whether it's life, whether it's your mortgage, your home, or your car. They will protect you the right way. If you've got a small to mid-sized business, same thing with commercial insurance. They get to know you, your product, your employees. They'll forecast you out a little bit. They'll find out what your budget is, and then they protect your business. That's simple. Just call 901-386-GER, 901-386-4777, GER, because they're big supporters of the Tigers. That's the Eflin Insurance Team. You know our title sponsor, that's Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch, and within that building is Genesis of Olive Branch, and that is a place to marvel at because they have this great luxury product with all the new technology. And the guy over that is a Canadian, a wonderful fella named Vinny Gerard. Go talk to him. Ask him about the GV70 and the GV80. Those are the SUVs. They got a special price and special financing. Go find out from Vinny. Go see him at Genesis of Olive Branch. We take the quick time out. When we come back for just a short segment, we're going to talk to Glenn Rogers Jr. about the retirement of Bobby Alston. I'm going to go over the Tiger football schedule for the next year. Also, some thoughts on a speech I heard yesterday from Kevin Kane at Positively Memphis. It was a positively positive message. We'll go over that. That's all coming your way in a matter of moments on Wolo and Friends.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
If you're moving to Denver, Dover, or Duluth, Lawrence can help you. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and Lawrence Kenner is our relocation director. She arranges for you to have an agent in other cities find you the home in the neighborhood and price you want. In fact, she and Marks Bensdorf just won a major award from leading real estate companies of the world, our nationwide relocation network, for the highest volume in relocation sales.
Yes, Sheldon, I can help people in their new city, and winning that relocation award is proof that we do a great job.
That's right, Lawrence. When people are being transferred, they can reach you at 682-1868. And when they need to sell their home, what do people often say?
When you want the job done, call the worst golfer in town. Call Sheldon.
You can reach me, Sheldon Rosengarten, at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. That's MemphisRelocate.com or 483-0546, and go Tigers.
Uncorn flavor. Our Memphis barbecue tradition, you'll love what we do. Encore flavor, Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. I am honored that so many Memphians trust Corky's to serve our hickory smoked turkeys and spiral sliced honey glazed hams to their families for Thanksgiving and Christmas. This year, let us make it even easier with our holiday feast. Ham or turkey and gravy, and your choice of two of our southern sides. Cornbread dressing, sweet potato casserole, mac and cheese, or baked potato casserole. Reserve yours today at corkysbbq.com before we sell out.
Encore flavor, Corky's Barbecue.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Looking for your next car? Give Car Corner a try. Car Corner, located at 2653 Mount Moriah. They specialize in cars under $15,000. Bad credit? No problem at Car Corner. CarCornerMemphis.com. That's CarCornerMemphis.com. They even have cash cars under $7,000. That's Car Corner at 2653 Mount Moriah. CarCornerMemphis.com. Look for the building with the teal green roof.
Now, back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Well, we mentioned a little early Bobby Alston stepping down, retiring after 47 years, 65 years, same head coach at MUS. Normally, we talk with our friend Glenn Rogers Jr. on Fridays, and tomorrow was supposed to be his final day. It's going to be today. He's got exams tomorrow, so he couldn't make it. We're going to touch base with him just for a minute or two here. And Glenn, thank you for carving out some time here so we get you in this one last time this year. Why do you think Bobby Alston decided to step down right now?
Well, I think, Coach, good morning, Dave, you and Tyler and all the listeners. I think, Coach, he said it best this time. He's been on the job 47 years, and I'm going to tell you, Dave, you couldn't ask for a better guy to work for, a guy that's a role model for these kids, a role model for the coaches, a role model for the school. And, I mean, there's no guy I would rather work for than Bobby Alston. I mean, the guy's done so much. It's been an integral part of my coaching career. And I love the man, and he just said it's time. He thought it was, he felt like he didn't have the energy to continue on. And, Dave, our league is a tough league. It's a real tough league, a tough division, and you got to bring your A game week in and week out. And, Coach Alston has done that since we've been accepted into the league in '97. And so he just said he thought it was time.
Well, it is interesting. It becomes harder and harder because now there's these boarding schools where they literally recruit all over the world. The two in Chattanooga, I know, both do that. So the league has become harder and harder. It's still a great job. There's no question about it. You've been there 23 years. I mentioned earlier you have bypassed opportunities that schools have come after you and asked you to become their head coach, and you have said no, being loyal to Bobby and to MUS. Do you want this job?
Oh, absolutely. My dream, Dave, is to be a head coach one day, and I have turned down other opportunities. I love working at MUS. It's a special place. The people who make it special are the kids, the parents, the faculty, and administration. Unless you're inside those walls around the school, you don't realize how special of a place it is. And the graduates there, the Fred Smiths, the Pitt Highs, the Staley Cates, those are the people that run this town. Those are the movers and shakers, and it's just a special place. And I just named a few of the people who made it special, but it's hundreds and hundreds of people who make that place special. And my goal is to be a head coach one day, and I pass up opportunities because MUS is a special place to me and my family.
So, have you officially applied for the gig?
Yes, I've told the head of our school that I definitely want to put my name in the hat. Talked to the head, a long conversation with my wife, because when you decide to put your name in the hat for a head coach, a lot of responsibilities come with that if you get the job. So I just wanted to make sure my wife and family was prepared for that if I got the job. And she said, yeah, she gave me a blessing. So I told Mr. Sanders that I wanted to put my name in the hat for the job.
What are the toughest duties of that job now? Does NIL come in? Because I know we were going to talk about this, but you've already got a couple of NIL students, do you not, on your team? And isn't that going to be a factor from here on?
Yeah. Oh, the NIL is not going away, Dave. Tennessee passed that legislation last year with NIL deals. I know we got two guys on the team that has NIL deals, but I think the toughest part of the job is just making sure that you're running a good program. You got the right coaches in place around you, and pushing the kids, making sure you get the best out of their ability, whatever that ability may be. You squeezing every ounce of it out of them, and then a great competitive team on the field that gives you a chance week in and week out, number one, to compete and then win ball games. The ultimate goal is to win games, to compete for championships. So that, to me, the toughest part of that job is to compete in our league week in and week out, and then getting the kids ready in the offseason to do that.
4 state titles, 4 runners-up, 28-game win streak, 9-2 last year. Be a pretty hard act to follow, that is for sure. What do you think Bobby Alston is going to do in retirement?
He told me, Coach sent out an email to the faculty and staff. He said, you remember the TV show Green Acres? Yeah. That's he and his wife right now. So Sally loves horses. They got a farm up in East Tennessee, not far from Memphis, right outside of Memphis. And Coach Alston said he's going to be like Green Acres. And so I know the man. He's a humble guy. He doesn't want a lot of fanfare. You know, I think Coach deserves a lot of things. He don't want it. He doesn't want the fanfare. He just wants to quietly walk off in the sunset, and he gives a lot of credit to the school and to the kids and the coaches that's helped him on this journey. So I appreciate him for that, because, you know, like I said, he's one of the best guys. He's the only coach, high school-wise, I've ever worked for. And so I commend the guy, and I love it as a person.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you. I know you'll be on the air with us either way next year, because we signed you to a lifetime contract. And I'm sorry you're not going to be with us tomorrow, but you filled in valiantly today. We appreciate that, and we'll talk to you next August.
Absolutely, Dave. And look, good luck. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and the staff there at Sports 56. And go Tigers, go and go out.
There you go. That's our coach. That is Glenn Rogers. We hope he gets the job at MUS. Certainly he is deserving. A reminder that over all these years, Ken Garland has been one of the sponsors of Glenn Rogers Jr., and if you're looking for that renovation or you're building the dream home, there's only one guy to consider. I think that's Ken Garland. He and his dad, 2 generations of doing things the right way, of working with clients, ensuring they get exactly what they want and should expect. Quality construction, on time, on budget. 70 years of that philosophy of perfect workmanship. I'm not kidding. Go see for yourself. KenGarland.com, then call 751-1637. I brag about it, but it's true. Ken's fun to talk to because he sees the little details in the big picture all at the same time. If you've got land you're not sure how to utilize, he's got it. He's got the knowledge. If you are looking for land, he's got that too. Just make that call. Talk to Ken Garland, Custom Home Builders. I was at a luncheon yesterday. It's Pat Halloran's Positively Memphis group, and they try to accentuate what is really good about this city. And they had the perfect guy to speak yesterday, my friend Kevin Kane, who's the head of the Convention and Visitors Bureau and Tourism. And he did point out everybody is down because of crime, and that's just a fact. We are. We're down with the smash and grabs. We're depressed about them. We're depressed about the stolen cars. We're depressed about too many guns and shooting. There's no question about that. But he is right to point out this is not just a Memphis problem. This is a national problem. But there are so many good things you still have to consider, and that we will overcome all of the issues with crime. And he points out 12 million visitors came to Memphis because they like coming to visit Memphis. It's special. It's unique. It's soul. It's barbecue. It's got its own personality, and people are drawn to it. They really and truly are, and I appreciate him for speaking about that. 12 million people visited in 2023. They're working on a flight. I think it's to Paris, an international flight. Not a done deal yet, but that could happen. But here's what he pointed out. Back when we were a hub, there were 254 departures from Memphis every day. It's down to 88. So that's quite a difference. However, he points out the 88 departures, people land and they stay. 4.2 million do it that way on an annual basis. Used to be you landed with Northwest and you went from one terminal to the next to get on the next plane. That was part of the 254 departures. There's actually more people staying in Memphis now for tourism dollars than there were then. So that is a positive. Here's the other thing that really struck me, and he said many things, but that $100 million during the Strickland administration have been built, have been spent, and I'm not talking about building Leftwich Center or the new golf courses or expansion of the Liberty Bowl, which he's behind finding the $350 million from the state and FedEx Forum. I'm talking about $100 million to build community centers. And Kevin, who's a native Memphian, said as a kid he would go to community centers. And a lot of seniors use the community centers too. But in particular, he was talking about youth using that. And now with the reopening of many of these community centers, maybe kids will go play basketball instead of getting involved in gangs. Maybe that'll be one of the solutions to the crime problem. But $100 million spent that way. I thought that was impressive. And he gave the numbers about how the community has prospered from the Memphis in May festivals, and now you got the competing one and interesting aspects of that. And then he said, and don't forget, big blue oval. What the impact on that will be literally generational changing. So I look forward to that. I mean, I walked out of there feeling much more positive about the situation here. For those of you who ever doubt Memphis, and I know there's a lot out there, it's a truly great city. It's a unique city, and he pointed that out all to us yesterday. One other thing that I learned, I'm going to ask Zach Boyd. You have no idea where I'm going with this, but I'm going to ask you, do you own a tie?
Like a necktie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you wear one like in church maybe or something like that?
Necktie, bow ties.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this blew me away, and I asked Richard Ransom because I love the fact that he's not formal all the time, that Channel 24 allows him to go on the air without a tie. Like when I do coaches shows, for the most part, I don't wear a tie anymore. I used to always wear a tie. And so I said, Richard, why do you think your group allows you to do that? He goes, Dave, we did the research. So I'm going to ask you this because this blew me away. This blows me away as much as I found out this morning listening to Greg and Eli that the 12 days of Christmas start after Christmas. Christmas Day is day one. I always thought it was leading up to. I really did. So I'm going to ask you this. What do you think is the percentage of Americans men going to work in this day and age wear a tie?
70. I mean, excuse me, that don't wear a tie.
Yeah.
Those that don't wear a tie, I say it's 70%.
You say, well, actually, the question was, how many do wear a tie?
Oh, do wear a tie?
So you're going to say 30%?
30%.
I would have said 25%. I asked my wife this today. She said 30%, just like you. You know, it is, according to Richard Ransom and the research that his group have done, 0.8%.
Really?
Less than 1% of men now wear ties to work. That's amazing to me. All right, real quick, let me go over this football schedule, because to me, if Memphis does not dominate next year, it'll be crazy. So the new schedule is out. Here's the home games. UAB, Charlotte, North Texas, Rice, and then you're going to play Troy, Middle, and North Alabama out of conference. The one road out of conference game, because you're playing 7 at home, 5 on the road, is Florida State, so that'll be a tough one. But then you got Navy, USF, Texas, San Antonio, and Tulane. So among those 13 games, only 4 teams were over 500. UAB 4-8, Charlotte 3-9, North Texas 5-7, Rice right at 500, 8-6, Troy 11-2. They lost their coach. He's going to Tulane. Middle Tennessee, new coach. They were 4-8. North Alabama 3-8. Woo. Navy 5-7. USF 6-6. Texas San Antonio 8-4. I think they've lost their quarterback though. Tulane 11-2. We know Willie Fritz went to Houston, and of course Norvell's team, Florida State 13-0. That'll be a tough one in Tallahassee. So, there's 9 to 10 wins there for sure, wouldn't you think? 9 to 10 for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I do too. We'll see if our friend Jarvis Greer agrees with all of that, because he comes your way in just a minute.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals, and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
It's our season of giving back back at Gossett Kia on the Pike, and we've got the perfect holiday gift for you. Hit the road with 41 MPG Highway, 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Get road-ready SUVs, Seat 7, 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And 8-passenger seating in your new 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus, you'll get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 699,094, MSRP 21,385, Sorrento PG 242,710, MSRP 33,010, Telluride RG 462, 2822, MSRP 38,705, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/2024, dealer stock only.
This holiday season, give the gift of Gould's with a Gould's gift card for someone you love. It's the perfect gift for everyone. The Gould's gift card doesn't just send wishes, it grants them in store and online. Just come to any Gould's and pick up a gift card, or go to GouldSalonSpa.com to purchase online. That's GouldSalonSpa.com. Happy holidays from Gould's. Gould's Salon Spa, locally owned and operated since 1932.
It's official. Malco Marquee Rewards have arrived. Earn points on ticket and concession purchases at Malco Theaters and member-only benefits, including I Love Tuesday tickets. Enroll for free today at Malco.com or the Malco app. Happy holidays from Malco Theaters.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Let's head downtown. Let's talk to our man, Jarvis Greer. Jarvo, lots that we can chat about. First question for you, because you are a Grind City employee now.
Yep.
Will Dylan Brooks be cheered or jeered?
I think he'll probably get both. I think he'll get more cheers than boos. I mean, there'll be some people in the crowd that boo him, but, he's 6 years here in Memphis. He was the lone man that was the connection between G&G Grit and Grind to G&G Grizz Next Gen. He lived through both, or he helped pilot the Grizzlies through both those eras, the end of the Grit and Grind era and the beginning of Grizz Next Gen. And he was a great guy in the locker room. Definitely has set the tone defensively. And he always brought it every night he played. Say what you want to say about him shooting. Was he only had one bad shooting year. He had one bad game in the playoffs against Golden State out in San Francisco. He scored 30 points, but I think he took 30 shots. And then just all last season, when it looked like he worked on his bulking himself up, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And that just, that kind of soured fans on him because he kept shooting. Like, what are they doing this year? They keep shooting, even though I think they have the fifth most attempted threes and have the least amount. They're number 30 in the league in terms of made three-pointers. So, it's just the way it went. But I think we'll get the tribute video. We should. I mean, he had some tremendous moments for the Grizzlies.
You think they will have a tribute video for him tomorrow?
Yeah, 6 years here, some great playoff runs, great plays throughout.
Wait. You work for Grind City. Do you know that there is going to be a tribute video?
No, I do not know. Okay. I do not know. Okay. This is what I believe.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, because I would cheer him for all that he did bring. I think he basically caused his own departure with the way he acted at the end of last year, honestly. But I would cheer him. But tribute video when you're still viable player and you're playing for the other team, it's interesting. We'll see.
Tony Allen got a tribute video and he was playing for New Orleans, and so Zach got one and he was still playing.
Well, those guys also went to the conference finals, Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, Dylan was he was the linchpin between the old Grit and Grind era and the new Grizz Next Gen. And had some tremendous fun. And without, him, I mean, he was the defensive trendsetter after Tony Allen. And he did a lot of great things in a Grizzlies uniform. Remember now, he only had one bad year shooting, and that was his last year. And that whole Dylan the Villain, which I love, that's his persona. He finally adopted it. that's all, a persona. It's not him. His teammates loved him. And like I said, he always played hard. He always gave it everything he had out on the floor.
No doubt. And his teammates did like him. And I think that's a really big point to remember. And that's part of the reason why I would cheer. All right, so I don't want to run out of time because we got other things we got to cover. What do you want to hear from Ja tomorrow? Go ahead.
What do we expect to hear from Ja tomorrow?
Yes, what would you like to hear?
What would I like to hear from Ja?
Yeah.
I'm ready to roll. Buckle up. That's what I would like to hear. I mean, he's apologies and all the rest of that stuff. I mean, words, talk, cheat, all that other kind of business. You can say something, and even if you're trying to do well, you can still slip up. I mean, yeah, he messed up with the first gun video at the club in Denver, and then had the meeting with the commissioner. I'll do better. And then it was 10 weeks. 10 weeks. So that's more than 2 months later that he's out with his boys in the car away from everybody, and they're, jamming to whatever was on the, the beatbox, and had another one there in the car flashing with his friends. I'm not going to be too upset about, whether he says I apologize. He may say some cursory to say that, but I want to hear him say, I'm ready to go, boys. Buckle up.
All right.
What do you want to hear from him?
I want to hear him. I want to hear him say, what he's done during this time to be ready to go, and I think you will address that. I would like to hear him say, "I've learned from this." That's what I want to hear. What I've learned from this, how I'll be different.
He said that last time. Remember?
Well,
he said that the last time
that may be true, but I'd like it reinforced. That's for certain. I want to see a sense, and I've heard from other people that say he has matured. That I want to see in the way he presents himself tomorrow. That's kind of what I would like to see. I think he'll still have the swagger. I think he'll still have, all that. Well, he should have that because you need that to play great. To be a superstar, you got to believe in yourself, and I'm sure that will still be. I hope that is still there. Otherwise, he won't be able to excel in the way that he has in the past. With him coming means somebody's got to go. What moves do you expect that the Grizzlies will make?
Well, I'm the biggest Junior fan this side of the Mississippi. And
so would you keep Junior over Biyombo?
I'd have to say no. I mean, you look at it. Has Junior played much at all?
But there must be a reason that Taylor Jenkins sees in practice and everything else.
Well, the thing is, it's a money situation. With his contract, they can let him go and not be on the hook for next year. If they let Biz go, I think he signed a 2-year deal. They'll have to pay that. If they let LaRavia go, he signed a 3. He's on his rookie contract with the extension.
Yeah, LaRavia is expensive. I'm not. Lofton probably is the cheapest. I didn't think Biyombo got a lot of money. I thought it would only cost him $1 million to cut Biyombo. Biyombo's cuttable.
Yeah, but you want to cut him, and who else are you going to find?
I would keep Biyombo over Kenny Lofton Jr. any day of the week at this point.
You keep him over LaRavia? You keep him over Z?
Well, the only point that I've given up on LaRavia, to be honest, but you got a financial consideration there.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. I think they like the idea of Kenny, but he doesn't fit what they do, unfortunately. Even though I think, well, you're not scoring. Heck, with defense, you're not scoring. And I think Kenny can provide some scoring. You just throw it to the hand, he'll make something happen down there in the post. But, it's kind of like a little bit like Jordan Brown, with the Tigers. Jordan Brown is a classic walk the ball up the floor, back to the basket center. And the Tigers want to get up and down. Now they got a chance to get Naquan Tomlin and do just that, and adios amigos. That's kind of the way it is.
Well, in my sense, Jordan Brown quit the team before they even had Tomlin. Now, maybe he had an inkling that was coming. Who knows? Didn't like his usage, or I have no clue why Jordan Brown decided that this was not a good situation for him. I mean, he's starting every game.
Mm-hmm.
They started many halves trying to go to him. Yeah. I don't know, but I do know that it does seem that Tomlin's a better fit.
Well, yeah, and as far as Jordan Brown, I mean, he saw the writing on the wall when Malco beat him out in practice and was much more productive on the floor. I mean, you look at Jordan Brown; he's got all the skills, and there's things he can do, but he came to camp out of shape, and he couldn't stay on the floor. Other than the Missouri game in which he played, I thought really well while he was in there. You just never really saw it. Where's the Jordan Brown that we had seen on the YouTube videos? And where's the guy that was the small college basically player of the year? And it just never did materialize. Now they still by adding Naquan Tomlin, which is 99.9% going to happen. They're not like they have to cut him because they don't have scholarship. That was just the last scholarship available that Tomlin's going to take. So he may stay and, get the rest of his NIL money. I don't know. Or maybe, he is sick.
Well, he'd be crazy not to, because he's making six figures. I'm almost certain of that. He's, I believe, the second highest paid player on the team, and I don't believe he got his money all up front, so he's going to lose a considerable amount of money if he goes, and he can't go anywhere. Maybe he can go to the G League, but he can't go to another college, so I'm with you there. All right, before we run out of time, Tiger football schedule released yesterday, 7 home games, 5 on the road. Look at the results from this year and the teams that are on the schedule. I mean, there's 9 or 10 wins for sure next year.
Well, you got to hope that's true. You don't know what the other teams are going to do in the portal to, get better. Everybody thinks Rice is on the home schedule. All right. Rice going to a bowl game this year.
Yeah, but Rice had a quarterback that was a transfer portal guy that was really good. He's not coming back.
Yeah, but the guy that backed him up had a good year at the end. Because that guy missed a couple of games.
He did. He got hurt at the end. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I mean, and Rice. Okay, nobody's getting excited about that, but you got to be excited about the Tigers' chances, knowing that you got Seth Hennigan coming back and you got Rock Taylor coming back, his prime target. Also, you got Tulane and UTSA, Texas San Antonio on the road. Okay, you had a great advantageous schedule this year with getting those two at home. Now you got to play them on the road. Daunting, right? Well, I think Frank Harris is finally. Did he finally graduate?
I think he's going. Yeah, I think he's going
for Texas San Antonio.
And Tulane will be a whole different team without their quarterback and without their head coach, Willie Fritz.
Yeah, Fritz has gone to Houston of all places. I mean, that's actually not that far from New Orleans, so it's a great move for him because he gets in the Big 12, and he's earned it. I mean, he's earned a chance to get to the big time. Wouldn't you say? Coaching all these years?
No. He clearly deserves it. I think it's ironic he's going to Houston. That used to be in the league. I'm happy. I'm happy for him, and maybe that'll give us Memphis a chance to finally win a game in that new stadium.
And the thing about Tulane is they had a lot of guys that were older dudes on that team that went to the Cotton Bowl and won it against USC. So Tulane will still be good. I don't know how many they lost, but I know they lost a considerable amount. So that game may not be as daunting as you might think it would be on the top, being on the road and everything. And Tigers have not had a whole lot of success in New Orleans anyway.
And the interesting thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, but Troy loses their coach, but we'll see him anyway because he's going to be the new Tulane coach.
He'll be the new Tulane coach. So, yeah, that's true. And he is a good coach. Troy is a good program. Anybody saying they're playing Troy.
They're 11-2 last year.
Yeah, they were one of the top teams in the Group of 5, and they're very, very good. And I think it's fortunate that Memphis has them at home here to start because I think they may graduate a few players when they got to do the return game down there. But in the era of the transfer portal, you really never know. You may lose somebody and get somebody back better.
You never know. Happy holidays to you and your family. Of course, we'll talk again next Thursday. Thank you, Jarvo.
Yeah, big game Saturday for the Tigers, right?
Yes, sir.
And Sunday for the Tiger women with Mississippi State coming into town.
Yes, sir. Both of them head to FedEx Forum on Saturday and the El Marone on Sunday. Hopefully, I'll see you there both games.
Yeah, man, this is going to be big. You will see me. I will be there in the whiteout, and I will be there at the El Marone.
Fantastic. We'll see you then. All right.
All right, let's go.
Thank you, Jarvo. That's our man, Jarvis Greer. He's brought to you in part by the good folks at Southern Security, your home team credit union. They've been that way for 70 years. Seems like we got a lot of businesses local that are 70 years old. You got to be a pretty good business to sustain 70 years in the same market. And Southern Security, your home team credit union, just keeps getting bigger. They just broke ground on a brand new facility in Collierville. And what they do is they bring you the best rates, the lowest fees, top-notch service, and all the new technology. That's what they will bring to you if you are a business owner, if you need an auto loan, if you need better benefits with your credit card. The business banking you can do at Southern Security is the best. The best benefits on credit cards and a whole lot more. And it's easy to learn about them and to become a family member. Just call. The number is 901-452-7900. They urge you to talk to one of their team members. You can go to the website. It's southernsecurity.org, but you can talk to somebody and talk about why there's benefit to banking with Southern Security. 70 years will tell you just how good they are at Southern Security, your home team credit union, and they are big supporters of the Tigers. That'll do it for us on this Thursday. We're going to pick Bulls tomorrow. We've got Jonah Dillon who's going to fill in. Our friend Andy Schiffman is on a trip to Europe to see all of his clients in Europe. So we will not talk NBA with him tomorrow, but Jonah Dillon on this crazy trial because he's been covering some of that, and the Tiger football team in the bowl game. So we'll have all of that. We're going to make bowl picks, and we'll end our week talking Tiger basketball and football with Brian Takis. So it'll be a busy mañana. Coming up in just a moment. Don't go anywhere because we will send this on remote to Johnny Radio. He comes your way next. Have a great day, everybody.